Coming up, the nominal launch of the Antares rocket.
Grasshopper makes a nominal jump of 250 meters.
And the wraps come off Atlantis in a nominal removal ceremony. All that plus a live interview of Doug Messier from Parabolic Art. Stay tuned. SpaceVidcast is nominal.
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. Got the flag up now, and you can see the stars and
private space station.
And welcome to SpaceVidcast episode 6.12 for Saturday, April 27th, 2013. My name is Benjamin Higginbotham. With me, as always, the beautiful, lovely, wonderful, and talented Carrie Ann Higginbotham. Before we get into the nominal launch of Orbital's Antares vehicle, I did want to do a little bit of housekeeping, if I may. And that is, first, this post, let's go, I'm going to, ready? We're going to go over the other camera slowly, and bam, just like that. So this is a framed version of the poster. You can buy this. We'll add this into the show notes. This is Climbers Wanted. So this is the top of Mount Everest. This is the top of Olympus Mons, right up there. So it kind of gives you a difference in the height. And as of today, we are going to make this available for free download on spacevidcast.com. So you can get a 11 by 17, I think, version of this on spacevidcast.com, and in about a week we'll make it so you can edit the text. So if you want to change that into whatever language you want to put that in, the idea being, if you want the high quality print, the frame, awesome, buy it right from the author. We don't get any kickback from it, but if you want to post these around town, get people excited about space and kind of thinking about some of these things, that would be cool too. So that will be available a little bit later on today. And then I also wanted to thank Woe Jeffrey for helping out with our web server to make it actually much more nice and stable. So a little thank you up front in the show for that. All right, let's go ahead and get started straight on with some space news. First, Orbital Sciences did launch their Antares test vehicle, and we have some launch footage of that. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek.
Point of reference, the space station is 262 miles up north of the Michigan Peninsula at the time of launch.
4, 3,
go Antares.
1. Engine start. Liftoff of the Antares A1 test mission from the Mars Pad 0A at the Wall Display Facility. EVC nominal, attitude nominal. Power is nominal. Engines at 108% and nominal. Attitude nominal. Core pressures are nominal. Altitude 2,000 feet. Plus 30 seconds. TPC nominal. Engines at 104 and nominal. Attitude nominal. EVC is skewing out in preparation for the MECO event.
Standing by for stage 1 MECO and separation.
MECO. ESS is disabled. We have stage 1 separation. Lower ACS is enabled. Closed loop guidance is enabled.
4 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. All, as you hear, going very smoothly.
327 second sequencer time.
Kyle, the next mark event will be fairing separation.
Antares is now in a coast phase until proper conditions for fairing separation and stage 2 ignition are achieved. Power is nominal. Fairing separation. Interstage separation. Attitude nominal.
Standing by for stage 2 ignition.
Stage 2 ignition. Payload separation.
Kyle, as you can see on the animation, the payload has separated successfully.
So very nominal flight from Orbital Sciences. They did. So the previous nominal king was SpaceX, in meaning that SpaceX used the highest number of the use of the term nominal in any launch coverage we had ever seen. In fact, we went back into our archives and looked it up. SpaceX's record was 31 nominals, or once every 23 seconds. That was on Falcon 9 Flight 2, or so, about on average, once every 23 seconds. We couldn't help but notice that Orbital really wanted to one-up SpaceX on the nominal count, and they were using nominal quite often. In fact, it was one call every 7 seconds. We put together a little tribute video for the nominal calls. Just, you know what? You're welcome, Internet. Here you go.
If you see nominal, nominal is nominal, and nominal to nominal, 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 and nominal to nominal, 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 nominal. They're nominal, 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 nominal. Engines remain nominal, 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 and nominal, 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 nominal. Engines remain nominal, 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 nominal. They're nominal. Engines are nominal, 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 and nominal, 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 nominal. All systems remain nominal with nominal, 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 nominal,
Nominally?
nominal, 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 and nominal, 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 is nominal, 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 nominal. And Terry's performance is nominal, 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 a nominal is nominal, nominal, nominal is nominal. And Terry's has delivered the A1 test mission payload into orbit.
93 nominal counts. 90. The previous record, reminding you, 31. Orbital smashed that ball out of the park. Now, as a joke before, we had said that nominal should be a drinking game. That is dangerous at this point. So no longer is the nominal drinking game is off the table.
It reminds me, like, I forget what sketch, who did it, but there's a sketch where a bunch of different doctors meet each other. And it's like doctor.
Yeah.
And eventually it actually starts to sound like he's asking a question in some of them and then responding to himself. Nominal, 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 nominal.
Joking aside, congratulations to Orbital. Launching a next generation rocket is no small feat. That is America's newest rocket that you just saw launch from the Wallops Mars pad.
And can I say, really amazing camera shots.
Yeah, I like the shots.
You know, the fairing.
Yeah, they
oh
look
my
nice.
goodness,
Look really
absolutely gorgeous.
They also
gorgeous.
launched some phone sats. We'll just touch on this briefly. Part of their payload was some phone sats. The neat thing about a phone sat is a cell phone. I don't have one handy. I should have had one over here. A cell phone has most of the things that you need for satellite guidance. So you got a bunch of little itty bitty sensors on it. They're inexpensive. The only problem is they're not really hardened against radiation. So the downside of a phone sat is they don't last very long. But, you know, who cares? Now you've got this really low-cost satellite that you can put up there and do some basic research. And so there was a phone sat payload that was delivered with that as well.
A couple of them. One Graham, one Bell. They're about 4 inches by 4 inches. They're about, I think it was like 2.5 pounds, something silly like that. So very, very tiny. And they are sending a packet pictures back. You can go to phonesat.org and check out all of the different pictures that they're sending back, which is really, really cool.
So while Orbital may have taken SpaceX's nominal crown, SpaceX has moved on, and they're now trying to actually launch Grasshopper to higher and higher heights. This is a video of Grasshopper's 250-meter hover. Check it out. and stuck the landing! Dude, that is epic, and if they can make that work, that is the future of spaceflight you're watching happen right there.
And well, again, with the camera shots, I know that...
I know that quadcopter is awesome.
Just all over that place.
I love that shot.
Crazy.
I absolutely love that
amazing.
shot. All right, and before we go into break, my favorite space shuttle, my favorite orbiter is Atlantis, OV-104. And all the orbiters have retired, and they are now in their homes, in their museums. Many of the museums are building custom structures around them. The custom structure around Atlantis down at Kennedy Space Center, they basically finished that up, and they're taking the wraps off Atlantis. So they actually wrapped Atlantis up. This is what she looked like beforehand, and they started pulling it apart. So there you can see there's the, you get taking the wrapping off of Atlantis. And yeah, so now you can see the nose and some of the front orbital maneuvering systems.
And I just want to be, it's Atlantis is in this particular, that's amazing. Is in this position because that's the way she's going to be presented.
And yeah, so you can get a good
when you walk
feel.
into the visitor center, she's supposed to look like she's out in space on a mission. They're going to open up the payload bay doors. So you'll be able to walk all the way around the orbiter and kind of get a close-up look at it that way.
At that cockeyed angle.
That crazy
so you
angle.
Go back. Can you find that shot? The one that I said looked really good. It's kind of mostly black. It's forward. Actually, that shot's fine. Go backwards a shot and go back to that one. Everyone's awkward, like, what is he talking about? So you can see the orbiter kind of at that angle. You can see the walkway and that whole backstretch.
I mean, it's so close. I'm sure you can't actually touch it, but it looks like it's close enough that you could reach out and touch it. You know what I'm saying? Really, really awesome. And all the orbiters in their home positions are going to be in different configurations.
This is going to be like it's flying in that shot right
that's
there.
What I'm saying.
So I believe, if I understand where the screens are going correctly, that kind of black spot behind it, that's all going to be like floor-to-ceiling, ginormous video wall. And it's going to be a video of the Earth as if Atlantis is in space.
Is in orbit.
So imagine for a moment, already at that kind of angled shot, plus a curvature of the Earth kind of shot in the background.
Amazing.
And you're going to be able to walk up, over, and around it. And they're going to open the payload bay doors as well. So it's going to be just like as if it were out there. And that's no small feat. Keep in mind, the hinges on the payload bay doors were designed to be opened in space, not on Earth.
Right.
So
not to sustain that kind of weight all the time.
It's going to take them a couple of weeks before they're going to be able to actually get those fully opened. And then they've got some support systems they're putting in from the ceiling. So I'm super excited for that. That'll be at the Kennedy Space Center. That'll be at the Visitor Center for the Kennedy Space Center. And it's really coming along. I think they're opening it this year, aren't they?
I believe
mean, they
so.
look like they were pretty far along with that. And that's with the work lights, by the way.
Yeah.
Imagine what it will look like with the theatrical lights.
Dark
And
yeah. So cool.
I'm super excited for that. I'm actually excited for all of them, right? That's in the space configuration. Endeavor's in launch. So she'll have the solid rocket boosters and the external tank like fully upright. And then...
Discovery is at wheel stop.
Boring. Okay, on that note, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, Douglas Messier of Parabolic Arcs. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The moon was man's first outpost, a first footstep in space. From the moon, we were able to look back at Earth and see ourselves from a different perspective, a sight that revealed a profound truth. The heavens are part of man's world. From this moment forward, the curve of evolution was bent. The perilous voyage into space was a challenge we were willing to accept and unwilling to postpone. The future of our species was now as much in space as it was on Earth. 44 years later, we're approaching the dawn of a new era, one that is characterized not by rovers and probes, visits or short stays, but by permanence. Mars. From now on, we won't just be visiting planets. We'll be staying. you will be staying. In our pursuit to find life elsewhere in the universe, the search for life on Mars begins on Earth.
And welcome back. We are joined now with Doug Messier of Parabolic Arc up in Mojave, which we lovingly call Mojave because it's with a J and not an H. And if you screw that up, they will get to you on Twitter. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
So Doug, we don't really talk about Mojave a whole lot on the show. Tell me a little bit about what's going on up in Mojave because there's a lot of stuff happening up there.
Oh yeah, there's quite a bit, and great to be back on the show. Good to be talking to you guys again. There's Virgin Galactic is up here, along with Scale Composites and the Spaceship Company, and you kind of know what they're working on. It's Spaceship 2 and White Knight 2, and you've got X-Core. They're beginning to assemble the Lynx this year, and hope to be flying it by the end of the year. Masten Space Systems is here, and they've been flying their vehicles. Kind of vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. And I've seen some of those flights. They're pretty cool to see. And Interorbital is working on a system. You also have Stratolaunch, which just finished its 2 buildings. There's a production facility, and there's also a massive hangar. And if you look at the hangar, there's a 747 in front of it, and it looks very tiny compared to the outline of the doors for this thing. And it's the reason I call it Birdzilla. It's just going to be a massive aircraft. So there's all sorts of stuff going on up here.
And what do you think it is that attracts people to Mojave, or at least rocket scientists? You have a bunch there, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good place to test. It's fairly remote. The neighbors don't complain too much. I mean, you're in a place where you get sonic booms from Edwards just about every day, so people are used to the noise, the few people who live up here. And it's also a good environment for, there's a lot of aerospace capability out here. I live across the street from a guy who builds parts for companies like X-Core and Virgin Galactic, and he, it's just, he does that out of his residence. So there's a big support network up here, and it's great. And it all started with the vertical takeoff and landing craft that's now sitting outside of the administration building. So it's out of that came 4 companies that are pursuing space in different ways. So it's a good place. It's remote enough to be good for testing, but you're close enough to LA that you can get down there, and close enough to civilization that you can go off on the weekends.
We were there not that long ago, and it really is in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I mean, you just keep going and going and going, and then you get to a point where, for whatever reason, you hit these wind shears, and then you keep going into the wind shears, and then you're in Mojave, which seems like a terrible place to test a vertical takeoff, vertical landing vehicle, or maybe a great one because you got all those wind shears. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And we had a couple weeks ago, we had 75 mile an hour winds, and it damaged a solar array at the airport. And last year we had winds up to about 88 miles an hour for, and that was a 2-day dust storm. And when the storms get up, the winds get up here, it takes all the stuff from the dry lake beds that are there and puts it into the sky. And during the 75 mile an hour winds 2 weeks ago, we had the highway closed. On the going one direction, you had like a 16-car pileup, and then both directions were closed down because you couldn't see anything. So people are up here in Mojave trying to figure out how to get back down to Lancaster and Palmdale with all the roads closed. So it's interesting. And then just to the west of here, you have mountains, and when it will snow up in those mountains, and you'll have a 50-mile stretch of highway that's closed down, and then you'll have trucks and cars backed up for miles until they open up the pass. So it's a pretty wild place, and occasionally you get snow actually down on the desert floor, and that's always interesting.
So in this crazy place, this is where NewSpace companies are testing their next generation vehicles.
Yeah.
Scale is based out of there, like you mentioned, but more importantly, the spaceship company and Virgin Galactic, all part of the same team now at this point, and they're doing something Monday morning. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. What are they doing? Can't remember. Oh, first powered flight is supposed to be on Monday, pretty early Monday morning, and looking forward to that. They're going to light up. Apparently they fixed their problems, and they're going to light the candle on this thing. We're expecting. My guess is it's going to be a pretty short burn, maybe 5 or 10 seconds, and they're hoping to get to through the supersonic barrier. So that should be exciting to see. It's scheduled for Monday morning. If they have a slip, it looks like they've reserved time on Tuesday, based on the NOTAMs I've been seeing. There's noticed airmen on the FAA site, and it kind of lays out the timing of all this stuff.
So talk to me a little bit.
So it's really interesting.
Talk to me a little bit about the vehicle, right? Because you'd mentioned that there were slips and there were some issues. What do you know about those, right? So Virgin Galactic has been trying to fly for years. They have been flying. They've been doing drop tests for quite a while. So what's so important about this next test on Monday?
Well, the test on Monday is the first time they fly under power. Right now they go up to about 51,000 feet and drop, and they do tests on gliding. This will be actual powered flight, and it's the first step toward getting into space. Now their schedule is to do a initial burn on Monday, and then a series of tests over the next 6 to 8 months, and hopefully they will be burning that engine longer and longer, and until they can get into space, hopefully by the end of the year. And then both Richard Branson and George Whitesides have been saying that they're looking to get into space, early next year, first quarter next year. Now the issue with the engine, it's been a tough nut to crack, because they went with an upgraded hybrid engine of what they'd used on Spaceship One, and Spaceship Two is about 3 times larger. Spaceship One had a capacity of 3 people in a small cockpit. Spaceship Two is about 3 times bigger. It's got 6 people back in the passenger area and 2 pilots up front. The carrier aircraft is subsequently sized larger. So scaling up that hybrid's been an issue for them, and it really bit them in 2007 when they had an explosion during a cold flow of nitrous oxide. That explosion ended up killing 3 people and injuring 3 others. So they've been trying to get the engine to work. They've been working on making sure that the nitrous tank, which is a big tank right behind the passenger area, is safe. And they only installed that in Spaceship Two not too long ago, a few months ago. So it's been a slow process for them, and one of the issues that you had with that is that you ended up building the spaceship before you really had the engine figured out. And usually you do that the opposite way, and you build the spaceship around the engine, but it was done kind of backwards in this case, at least according to people I talked to.
That's what Burt Rutan wanted. He's got his vehicle. Yeah. You're going to build it my way, gosh darn it.
Well, from what I've heard from people here is that they didn't. Bert looked at liquid fueled engines and thought they were too complicated, and didn't like all the pipes and the valves and stuff. So that kind of prevented them from pursuing the liquid propulsion. Although they are pursuing liquid propulsion as part of the Launcher One program, which is to launch small satellites from a rocket that they would airdrop in place of the Spaceship Two. They're also involved in the ALASA program, which is an Air Force, or it's either Air Force or DARPA project, in which they're trying to get a small payloads up into space very cheaply through air launch. So there are liquid engine tests going on that Virgin is pursuing out in the test area of Mojave.
So also in Mojave is X-Core. At least they're still kind of in Mojave, right? I know that they're talking about moving to Texas. Are they moving everything to Texas? Have they moved? What's X-Core look like up there?
X-Core is up at about 50 people or more right now. Latest number I heard. They're still all here. Their plan is to fly the vehicle first before moving on to Texas. They also have to wait for the Midland airport to get a spaceport license. The Midland airport's working on that. It's not clear when that's going to happen. It's an FAA process. So I think their plan is to move the R&D out to Midland probably after they get the ship flying, and then they want to continue to operate some Lynxes out of Mojave. But I think it'll be a pretty small group that would do that. Most of the company would be in Midland.
Talk about the Lynx, right? Because you've got Virgin Galactic with Spaceship 2, White Knight 2. $200,000 per seat gets you 5 minutes in space, but then you've also got, for half the price, at $100,000 a seat, the Lynx. So what can you tell us about Lynx?
Lynx is coming along on the floor. They're building it right now. They've got the fuselage there, and the different parts of that are being built at different vendors across the country, including the cockpit and the wings and the strakes and different parts of that. So I got a tour last week of during Plane Crazy Saturday last week of the hangar, and along with some friends who were in town, and so it's coming along. Jeff Grayson and Doug Jones have said they're expecting to do the first runway hops in about 6 months from now. They were hoping to get those done by the end of last year, or in the first quarter of this year. It's just taking much longer than they thought to get all these parts done and get them assembled in Mojave. So it's coming along, not as quickly as they'd hoped, but hoping to see that by the end of the year.
That seems to be the mantra of NewSpace: not as quickly as we hoped, always delayed.
Yeah, that's true. Everything takes longer than you think, and you run into issues that you don't anticipate.
It is,
but they had during Plane Crazy Saturday, they had a full-scale mock-up out on the tarmac, and people were sitting in it and taking pictures and stuff like that. It's a neat machine, and basically it's a right stuff sort of approach to things. You'll be right there in the cockpit with the pilot, who is Rick Searfoss. And that should be fun. It's a $95,000 ride as opposed to $200,000, but it's just a different experience, and I think both experiences would be fun. I think both the Virgin and the Lynx experience would be fun in different ways.
If I had $300,000, I would do both of them.
Yeah, and you get to wear a spacesuit in the Lynx, which is really cool to put on. They had a company come in last year in July, and they tried on everybody in the company tried on a suit and went to the Lynx mock-up and tried that on, and you really feel, you put that suit on, it's cool. It was the most happy I've ever seen anybody at X-Core. They were just like, we're in this suit, and you get the helmet on, and somebody's following you with an air conditioning kind of unit, and for this vest that you have this vest with water running through it, and it's got an external air conditioning kind of system on it that somebody's kind of following you along with, and it was kind of cool. When I was one of the last people to do that, and I got to sit in the cockpit with Rick Searfoss, and he's going over engineering things with a couple of the X-Core employees, and they were, we need to switch here and we want this over there and stuff like that. And it was just kind of cool to just sit there and listen to it. So.
Well, Doug, there is a ton of stuff happening in Mojave. It's basically the heart of the new space industry, with the exception of SpaceX. But SpaceX is right down the road in LA, right? So it's all kind of right there. And so for that, we're going to try to bring you back week after week for what we're kind of internally calling the Mojave Minute, just for a quick little itty bitty update, not a full 10-minute segment, but just a little. Here's what's happening in Mojave this week, so that we can keep our finger on the pulse of NewSpace, because you're right there in the thick of it. So.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And now you also write for
that.
Parabolic Arc, so do a quick plug for Parabolic Arc as well.
Well, Parabolic Arc is a website that covers all the NewSpace activities and also some global news and NASA news. It's parabolicarc.com, and it's updated daily. And if you go on the site right now, you've got all the latest news on the Spaceship Two activities that are going to be taking place on Monday. And definitely go and check it out.
Awesome. So for real-time updates on the firing of Spaceship Two, parabolicarc.com. Doug, thank you so much for taking the time out of your Saturday to join us and give us an update as to everything going on.
Can I put in a plug for my Twitter feed?
Heck yeah!
Yeah, it's at SpaceCom, space and then COM, and I will be tweeting early Monday morning and letting you know what's going on out here.
Awesome. All right, Doug, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, comments from last week's show. Stay with us.
Look into her face, determination in her eyes. She won't give up or quit or fumble little fashion lies. Filled with awesome expectation, this girl's a fascination, and nothing in her way will keep her from her destination. 'Cause she's fire walking, she's fire walking. When it's hot, she keeps on moving, her heat keeps on improving. Yeah, she's fire walking, she's fire walking to be free.
And welcome back. I was in no way doing a nerdy white boy dance during that last break. Oh yeah, it was awesome. Like that. All right, let's talk about some comments from last week's show. The first one comes from Zen Karu, I guess. This is in regards to International Space Station Commander Chris Hadfield. And he said the entire time the commander was talking, all I was doing was watching his watch float around his arm. I was too. It was weird, right? He'd move and the watch would just kind of move up and down his arm in this kind of like weird, I don't know.
Wait, I'm sorry. So the commander did a video. Was this the washcloth one?
I think this was the tears. This was
the tears?
Yeah,
okay. There's another one that's a washcloth one, but same kind of thing. But I figured that was the one because of the hands, like close up on the hands. But anyway, so he does this really interesting, and that was a little creepy, video about tears in space, and you're watching his watch. Yeah.
It's cool.
All right.
Try it. Next time you see one of Hadfield's videos.
There's something in space for everyone.
There's something in space for everyone. Next comment comes from Blaze Sanders, the CTO of Solar System Express. He says, Solar System Express is entering the do-it-yourself rocket contest with an Aerospike engine for use in altitude control for the Google Lunar X Prize teams, a space skydiving suit, and balloon-launched rockets. And the whole reason we added that in was because we thought that was really freaking cool and wanted to just give you a little bit of free publicity and heads up. So more information, that's Solar System Express or Sol-XX.
Like that.
Like that.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that actually brings up an interesting point of some of the engines and technology being used don't just go on spacecraft necessarily. They can go on space suits, right? I mean,
which, as we've said, are like personal spacecraft.
They are like personal spacecraft.
So
that's the hand movement that goes with that.
Spacecraft.
Let's see here. What else we got? From Mini Elon, currently in the chat room, says, if the NASA asteroid capture mission was to go wrong, what would the response to stopping the asteroid from impacting the Earth be? I'll be in the chat room if you'd like to ask my... Hey, now, I see what you did there. You conned us into using your question, and it worked. To answer your question, actually, the asteroid will not be of any size that would be of any danger to Earth whatsoever. If it did go out of control, go ballistic, and head right for it, it's coming right for us!
That's what we have Bruce Willis for.
Yeah, we'll have Bruce Willis. They're going to launch up there. They're going to drill into it, put a nuke in there.
Right.
and then blow it up.
Right.
That's, I think, the backup plan.
Well,
Either
we already
that
have
or
historical renderings showing us how to do it.
we do. We have a
Yeah.
pretty good plan as
So
to how that
there's
will work.
that.
Or in reality, it's just so small that it's going to break up in our atmosphere, and it'll be a non-event. You probably won't even notice it or hear it or see it.
Unless it breaks up over Russia.
And then you probably
Then it-
still won't notice it, hear it, or see it at that point.
right,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
Never
unfortunately,
mind.
no.
I'm trying.
Not really.
Okay.
And finally, this is from Lee Russell, and that is the do-it-yourself rocket engine project is a seriously cool way to look at space and rocket design. How far will open source design push space exploration costs down? Will it speed up the abilities of small startup companies to overcome some of the huge initial hurdles of getting into space? And I don't know, but I totally agree, right? I don't know. This is the exciting thing about the DIY rocket contest is that it can help radically push down the cost barrier of going into space.
Totally.
And you look at, it used to kind of be that the internet was the billionaires' playground. Everyone wanted to make a new .com, and that
Right.
was where blah, 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 and we had the big bubble. But
name
now
it.
it seems like we're sliding back into hardware design.
Right.
The kind of the Kickstarter projects, right? The
Yeah.
things that you can actually build and do and touch.
Yep.
And like manufacturing is it, but space manufacturing is still freakishly expensive as compared to other manufacturing, right? And I think a lot of these startup guys, are like, oh, let's do something in space. We love space. And then they start looking at what it actually takes to do with the actual rocket science behind it and go, or, let's not
Just
do
kidding.
that. But what if you had a pre-created 3D rocket engine that you could just print out and make part of your spacesuit or your vehicle or your... Yes. Very cool. I can, like I said, radically change it. Super bubbly excited right here, right now. That's why I'm so excited about that stuff. So I think that's a really exciting, awesome, and cool contest. What? Did I miss one?
Yep.
Oh, did I screw up Dutta by missing one?
You did.
Oh.
It's okay. There it is.
Oops.
Oh, it's not on the screen anymore. It was there. There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
Orion Dynasty asked, it's ironic that I skipped this one. Of all of them to skip, it's really ironic that I skipped this one, which is, where can I get those cool stickers for my laptop? Actually, they are cool stickers, right? So see this? Hang on. They're actually, if I turn down the brightness on my screen, you can actually see that they're cut out to show through. I don't know if I know I've told this story in After Dark before, but I'll tell it on the air again. I have always hated showing computer logos on here, right? I do not like doing that.
Yes, for those of you who watched us throughout the years, you've noticed that we've covered up the logos in a very different ways.
In many different ways.
Many different ways.
Throughout the years, I have tried to cover the logos, and I've never found one that I like. This is one that I like. And actually, if you watch previous shows before we had these on there, whenever we would go to this shot, you'd see us do this so that you wouldn't have the logo. And then when he cut over to the other shot, which he's not prepared to do. There we go. I would try to kind of like do this to minimize the logo, or whatever I could to get it off the screen, because I can't. There's no way I can get my computer out of the shot. So our director Tim, who we lovingly call Dutta, and his Twitter handle is _Dutta_. DUTA. He made these for us.
Yeah.
This is a laser engraved thingamabobber. That's a technical term. Logo that is shining through where the other logo would normally be, and the rest of it's completely opaque. And he presented these to us at Yuri's Night 2013 as we're setting up. And it was kind of amazing to watch because he closes the computer, right? He closes it up. He takes the thing out. He has this squeegee thing, and he's like, whoa, wow, whoa, gee, takes a razor blade, goes, 60 seconds later, bubble free, perfectly lined up, perfectly flat, and custom cut to my laptop. And I was
FYI,
like, wow.
Did not know Dutta was a ninja.
Also, our director is a ninja.
Sticker ninja.
Sticker ninja. So the answer is, to answer your question, so that's the sticker, that's the story behind the sticker, that's why we have the sticker, and we made exactly 2 of them. One right here, one right there. None other exist on the planet, unfortunately. And while I would love to make these available because I think this is really freaking cool.
Ben says, unfortunately, he doesn't mean it.
I do. No, I think this is awesome. I'd love to give.
You don't really mean it.
No, I want to give everyone the ability to do this, right? If we could have a bunch of laptops that had the SpaceVidcast emblem glowing instead of the Apple emblem glowing or whatever you've got, how cool would that be?
Well,
I would love that.
Yeah.
The problem is,
We
our
can't
director
send Dutta to everybody.
Our director's a ninja, and unless you have ninja skills, I don't know that you're actually going to be able to get this, because it wasn't like he just kind of placed it on and did. he clearly knew what he was doing and how to make this go.
And it's definitely
and no
not
offense
putting,
to you, but you don't.
It's not like putting an iPhone cover on your phone, right?
No.
Or like one of those screen protectors. It's not like that. And I know a lot of you have screwed those up. I know. So it's not like that at all. Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. All right, that's our show. Once again, reminder, bam, you can download these now. Yeah, that just happened. Hang on, you can download these now. There, perfect. Thank you. You can download those now, although it's glaring. There you go. I love these posters. I think they're really, really, really awesome. They're kind of inspirational. So you can get this for free. You don't have to buy the high quality version. If you do opt to buy the high quality version, which is this one, it doesn't come with the frame.
But you can get some really, really cheap on Amazon.
Oh, the $7 frame on Amazon is really a terrible frame, but it works perfect, right? And it's just really cool. And we'll post the text of this as well. It's just a neat thing that kind of makes you stop, and then when you kind of read it, you go, huh. And that's cool. So this is the first in the series, and we're hoping to have one out every 2 or 3 months or so. So on that note, we'd like to thank everyone so much for watching. If you'd like to continue watching, you're on demand. SpaceVidcast After Dark is available for SpaceVidcast Epic subscribers. That is a lot of saying SpaceVidcast back to back, isn't it?
Yeah.
SpaceVidcast is a program that we have that allows you to pay us, give you your hard-earned money, and then we take your hard-earned money and continue to produce this show. That's how that works.
What's the show?
The show's SpaceVidcast.
SpaceVidcast,
exactly.
Okay.
It's nominal.
Nominal.
And so SpaceVidcast Epic starts at $10 a month or $100 a year, and every penny of that goes back into the show, goes into equipment. It goes into doing things like making cool posters, making graphics, making the show better and better and better. So without your Epic subscriptions, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Every single subscription helps and counts, and I do want to currently thank every single Epic subscriber that we have today. Your subscription to Epic helps us continue to produce the show. So go to spacevidcast.com/epic. You'll get an account username and password, and that will give you access to gigs and gigs and gigs of additional content only available to SpaceVidcast Epic subscribers. For example, SpaceVidcast After Dark, which if you're watching on demand is the only way to see SpaceVidcast After Dark. However, if you're watching live, you can watch After Dark for free. It's up next. Stay tuned. That starts now. And goodbye. They did. So the previous nominal king was SpaceX, in meaning that SpaceX used the highest number of the use of the term nominal in any launch coverage we had ever seen. In fact, we went back into our archives and looked it up. SpaceX's record was 31 nominals, or once every 23 seconds. That was on Falcon 9 Flight 2, or so, about on average, once every 23 seconds. We couldn't help but notice that Orbital really wanted to one-up SpaceX on the nominal count, and they were using nominal quite often. In fact, it was one call every 7 seconds. We put together a little tribute video for the nominal calls. Just you know what? You're welcome, Internet. Here you go.
If you see nominal, nominal, is nominal, and nominal, to nominal, 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 and nominal, to nominal, 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 they're nominal, 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 nominal. Engines remain nominal, 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 and nominal, 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 nominal. Engines remain nominal, 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 nominal. They're nominal. Engines are nominal, 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 and nominal, 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 nominal. All systems remain nominal with nominal, 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 nominal.
For free download on spacevidcast.com. So you can get a 11 by 17, I think, version of this on spacevidcast.com, and in about a week we'll make it so you can edit the text. So if you want to change that into whatever language you want to put that in. The idea being, if you want the high quality print, the frame, awesome, buy it right from the author. We don't get any kickback from it. But if you want to post these around town, get people excited about space and kind of thinking about some of these things, that would be cool too. So that will be available a little bit later on today. And then I also wanted to thank Woe Jeffrey for helping out with our web server to make it actually much more nice and stable. So a little thank you up front in the show for that. All right, let's go ahead and get started straight on with some space news. First, Orbital Sciences did launch their Antares test vehicle, and we have some launch footage of that. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek.
Point of reference, the space station is 262 miles up north of the Michigan Peninsula at the time of launch.
4, 3,
Go Antares.
1. Engine start. Liftoff of the Antares A1 test mission from the Mars Pad 0A at the Wallops Display Facility. EBC nominal, attitude nominal. Power is nominal. Engines at 108% and nominal. Attitude nominal. Core pressures are nominal. Altitude 2,000 feet. Plus 30 seconds. TPC nominal. Engines at 104 and nominal. Attitude nominal. EBC is skewing out in preparation for the MECO event.
Standing by for stage 1 MECO and separation.
MECO. ESS is disabled. We have stage 1 separation. Lower ACS is enabled. Closed loop guidance is enabled.
4 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. All, as you hear, going very smoothly.
327 second sequencer time.
Kyle, the next mark event will be fairing separation.
Antares is now in a coast phase until proper conditions for fairing separation and stage 2 ignition are achieved. Power is nominal. Fairing separation. Interstage separation. Attitude nominal.
Standing by for stage 2 ignition.
Stage 2 ignition. Payload separation.
Kyle, as you can see on the animation, the payload has separated successfully.
So, very nominal flight from Orbital Sciences. Coming up, the nominal launch of the Antares rocket.
Grasshopper makes a nominal jump of 250 meters.
And the wraps come off Atlantis in a nominal removal ceremony. All that plus a live interview of Doug Messier from Parabolic Art. Stay tuned. SpaceVidcast is nominal.
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. Got the flag up now, and you can see the stars and
Private space station.
And welcome to SpaceVidcast episode 6.12 for Saturday, April 27th, 2013. My name is Benjamin Higginbotham. With me, as always, the beautiful, lovely, wonderful, and talented Carrie Ann Higginbotham. Before we get into the nominal launch of Orbital's Antares vehicle, I did want to do a little bit of housekeeping, if I may. And that is, first, this post, let's go, I'm going to, ready? We're going to go over the other camera slowly, and bam, just like that. So this is a framed version of the poster. You can buy this. We'll add this into the show notes. This is Climbers Wanted. So this is the top of Mount Everest. This is the top of Olympus Mons, right up there. So it kind of gives you a difference in the height. And as of today, we are going to make this available for...
Nominal.
Nominally?
Nominal. 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 Nominal and nominal. 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 Is nominal. 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 Nominal, 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 nominal. Antares performance is nominal, 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 a nominal, 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 nominal is nominal. Antares has delivered the A1 test mission payload into orbit.
93 nominal counts. 90. The previous record reminding you 31. Orbital smashed that ball out of the park. Now, as a joke before, we had said that Nominal should be a drinking game. That is dangerous at this point. So no longer is the Nominal drinking game is off the table.
It reminds me, like, I forget what sketch, who did it, but there's a sketch where a bunch of different doctors meet each other. And it's like doctor.
Yeah.
And eventually it actually starts to sound like he's asking a question in some of them and then responding to himself. Nominal.
Joking aside, congratulations to Orbital. Launching a next generation rocket is no small feat. That is America's newest rocket that you just saw launch from the Wallops Mars pad.
And can I say, really amazing camera shots.
Yeah, I like the shots.
You know, the fairing.
Yeah,
Oh,
they look
my
nice.
goodness.
Look really
Absolutely gorgeous.
They also launched some phone sats. We'll just touch on this briefly. Part of their payload was some phone sats. The neat thing